If I were you, I'd stop right now. This isn't a threat. It's not an exaggeration. It's a choice. One of the most important ones you can make today. Because if you keep living like this, life will pass you by, and you won't even notice. You'll smile in pictures, but cry in secret. You'll work all day, but go to bed with an empty soul. You'll get distracted by glowing screens, but you'll forget what it feels like to shine from within. And do you know what's most cruel? No one will warn you. They will even applaud you, say you're doing great, while you slowly fade in silence. But today, I came to warn you. I am Buddha, and I'm not from the past. I come from your own consciousness. I'm here, right beside you, like a friend who loves you, but who also won't lie to you. You think you're in control, but in truth, you're being controlled by your impulses, by what they show you, by what they expect from you, by the fear of losing, of falling behind, of not being enough. But let me share a secret most won't admit. It was never a lack of time that kept you from living in peace. It was too much distraction. Distractions that keep you busy but never present, full of notifications but empty of purpose, connected to the world but disconnected from yourself. You know what I'm talking about. That heaviness in your chest at the end of the day, when you realize, once again, you didn't live what truly mattered. How many times have you said, I just want some peace. I just want to stop overthinking. I just want more time for myself. But then you wake up, grab your phone, check your messages, scroll the feed, compare yourself, criticize yourself, lose yourself, and before you know it, it's night, and another day is gone, and you barely remember where you even were. You know why? Because you live in a rush, but without direction. You run to reply, you run to deliver, you run so you won't feel forgotten. But all of this takes you further and further from who you truly are. In my time, the distracted suffered too, but today you suffer in a new way, more subtle, more disguised, and perhaps that's why it's more dangerous. In the past, when someone felt lost, they sought silence. Today, you seek more stimulation, and that's why you're so tired, exhausted even while you sleep, alone even surrounded by people, anxious even without a clear reason. But now, breathe. You're still here, and as long as you are here, there's still a way. Today I want to give you something, not a magic mantra, not a miracle formula, but 5 simple and profound pieces of advice that can change the way you live. Honest alerts, direct, sacred. And if you listen to me until the end, maybe when you close this video, the world outside will still look the same, but you will feel different inside, lighter, more aware, more present. Not because everything got fixed, but because you've learned to look differently. The mind, my dear, is like a lamp. It can light the way or burn everything down. It depends on how you hold the flame. And today I want to show you how to carry that light, how not to let the winds of the world, the rush, the noise, the comparisons, the doubts, blow out who you are. You don't have to keep running like mad just to prove your worth. You only need to remember. Remember the peace that lives within you. Remember the silence that heals you. Remember everything you've forgotten while trying to be accepted by a world that's also lost. But there is only one condition. You must stop now. And subscribe to the channel because messages like this need to be spread across the world. This isn't just another video to pass the time. It's a calling for you to wake up. Wake up from the hypnosis of distraction, from the addiction to the external, from the numbness of the automatic. Today is the beginning of your liberation. Now, finally, with your heart more present, with the ears of your soul more open, let's go together. I will tell you the 5 alerts that Buddha would leave for you today, and with each one, a key to open a new way of living, lighter, more conscious, more joyful.
Are you ready? Then take a deep breath and come with me. You keep chasing the new video, new content, new notification, new desire, new promise of happiness. But what happens when you're always chasing the new? You lose the now. You drift from the only place where life truly happens, the present moment. This is the first alert. First Buddha's alert. A mind addicted to novelty will never find peace. Back when I was still Siddhartha, the son of a king, surrounded by everything beautiful and new, I noticed something strange. The more I received, the less fulfilled I felt. The more novelty filled my days, the more empty I felt at night. There were banquets, perfumes, music, but inside there was a painful silence, like a hunger that food couldn't feed. This is the invisible pain of your generation. You have everything, all the time, yet you still feel like it's never enough. One day, Rahula, my own son, asked me, "Father, why do I get bored so easily? Yesterday I was happy. Today I feel nothing." I looked into his eyes with tenderness and said, "Son, when the soul gets used to excess, it loses the ability to be amazed by the simple. A mind addicted to novelty is like a cup with a hole in it. No matter how much you pour, it never stays full. Do you feel this? That restlessness, even on good days. That boredom disguised as a desire to change everything. It's not that your life is wrong. It's that your mind has forgotten how to be present. Every time you switch videos, topics, thoughts, your brain gets a small hit of dopamine, but it's fake, like living on emotional caffeine, always stimulated, always on, but inside, depleted. Spirituality is not against technology or against the new, but it is radically against anything that disconnects you from yourself. And too much stimulation does exactly that. It turns you into a stranger in your own body. Imagine a still pond. If you throw stone after stone, wave after wave, movement after movement, the water never settles. And if it never settles, it never reflects. That's your mind when it lives in constant agitation. But if you stop, if you sit, if you let the water become still, then, my dear, what is true will begin to appear. Your purpose, your intuition, your peace, your very soul. You don't need another trip. another series, another course, another post, another update. What you need is presence. You need to learn how to be where you are. And that starts with something very simple. Choose to stop. Just for today, for a few minutes, stop. Feel the air entering your body. Look around. Feel your feet. Listen to the silence. Accept life as it is in this very moment. This is the beginning of true freedom. At first, you'll feel uncomfortable, anxious, restless. But don't run. That discomfort is the doorway. It's the start of healing. You don't need to stop the world. You only need to stop yourself. So tell me, why are you so afraid of silence? What are you scared you'll find when everything goes quiet? The peace you seek is not in the new. It's in the now. But to reach it, you must stop running away. Second Buddha's alert. Comparison is the thief of your essence. While you're trying to be someone else, you're losing the most precious thing you have, who you are. In my life as a monk, I saw incredible disciples abandon their paths simply because they were too busy watching the path of others. Devadatta was my cousin, and he wanted to be a master too. But instead of looking inward, he looked at me with envy. He used to say, "Siddhartha is more respected. Everyone follows him. Why him and not me?" That question, born of ego, corroded his soul. He began doing good just to be seen. He began meditating just to compete. He began serving, but only to receive applause. And so, he got lost. In the end, he wasn't even living his own life. He was just a shadow of constant comparison. Comparison distorts your perception of reality. Look, when you compare yourself to someone, you never see the whole picture. You only see the part they want to show. You see the stage, but not the backstage. You see the fruit, but not the weight of the roots. And even knowing this, you keep measuring yourself with a ruler that was never yours. That's not just unfair, it's destructive. Imagine a garden. You spend your life admiring other people's flowers, but forget to water your own.
Then one day, you look at your dry land and say, "I'm not good enough." But the truth is, you never gave your seeds time to bloom. Comparison does this. It robs you of love for the process, of trust in the timing of things, and the beauty of being who you are, with all your imperfections and potential. You begin to change how you speak, how you dress, how you create, how you love, all just to fit a mold that was never made for you. And slowly, you begin to empty yourself. You become generic. You start living other people's lives with the name your parents gave you. Do you feel the weight of that? It's like painting a picture with other people's colors and wondering why you don't feel proud of what you see. You don't need to compete. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to be someone else. The bamboo doesn't try to become the lotus. And still, both are beautiful. Both are necessary. Nature does not compare. It simply is. And you are part of that nature. I suggest a practice for today, the mirror of acceptance. Today, look at yourself in the mirror, not in a rush, not to judge, but to truly see. Look into your eyes.
feel your presence, and say to yourself, I am enough, exactly as I am. It might feel strange at first, but this is the beginning of healing. You need to learn how to be your own home, your own shelter, your own standard. Think with me. Who would you be if you didn't know what others were doing? What choices would you make if there were no ideal models pressuring you? What do you truly enjoy? What do you want, not what you were taught to want? You will only discover this when you stop looking sideways and start looking within. Today I ask you, take a break from social media. Take a break from self-demands and look at yourself again as if reuniting with an old friend, with affection, with respect, with longing. Because within you still lives the child who once marveled at life before learning to compare. Third Buddha's alert. The fear of being alone is the reflection of a soul disconnected from itself. You're not afraid of solitude. You're afraid of facing what you'll find in the silence. Because when the noise ends, you hear the anxiety, the dissatisfaction, the wounds that have been buried for so long. But my dear, what you avoid, you can't heal. And what you deny can never bring you peace. Before my awakening, I sat beneath a tree, alone. I stayed there for days, with no one, no distractions, only my breath and my inner demons. Memories of my childhood arose, desires, fears, sorrows, but I didn't run. I remained. And in that space of silence, I found the truth that lives beyond all noise. You can find it too, but you have to stop running. Nowadays, you call this productivity, entertainment, multitasking. But very often, it's just escape. You bury yourself in tasks, but your soul remains empty. You do 1,000 things a day, but at the end, you don't feel truly fulfilled. Do you know why? Because you've abandoned yourself. You're always with others, but never with yourself. Imagine a temple, beautiful on the outside, full of ornaments, sculptures, colors. But when you try to enter, the door is locked. It's dark. It's stifled. That's how your inner world becomes when you never visit it, when you avoid being alone. You might seem functional, but inside it's stifling, locked, uninhabited. And no one can live in the temple of your soul for you. Being alone is not a punishment, it's a return. It's in that space that you hear your breath, that you feel life pulsing through you, that you realize you are already whole. Most people I met on the path of meditation would say, I'm afraid of being alone. I panic in silence. I don't know how to be with myself. And I'd say, then start with just 1 minute. And treat that minute as a reunion with the part of you that was left behind. Do you live with yourself or just near others? Reflect. When was the last time you spent time with yourself with love? When was the last time you felt your soul in silence without distractions? You're always trying to fit in, to show up, to connect. But sometimes all your soul really wants is a little bit of you. My dear, solitude is not the end, it's the portal. It's in emptiness that the new is born. It's in silence that answers arise. It's in your own company that true freedom begins.
Today, give yourself this gift. Even if only for a few minutes, be with yourself, without fleeing, without abandoning yourself. Because once you learn to love being in your own presence, you will never feel alone again. Fourth Buddha's alert: the illusion of urgency. Have you noticed that even when everything around you is silent, your mind is still screaming? It says, "Reply now. You're falling behind. Do something." It rushes even when there's no urgency. It fears even when there's no threat. But I tell you firmly, not everything that feels urgent is actually important. Modern life has addicted you to fast responses, to action without pause, to automatic decisions. You've been conditioned to react as if everything is an emergency. But that's not living. That's surviving. And Buddha, with his silent wisdom, taught us something that may feel uncomfortable at first, but deeply liberating later. Learn to sit in silence until the truth reveals itself. Yes, the answer you're seeking isn't in the rush, but in the pause between one thought and the next. Do you remember, as a child, when you could watch an ant walk or the wind sway the leaves without thinking about optimizing your time? That moment was whole. It was now. It was real life. Today, however, you trade that wholeness for screens, clicks, alerts, for distractions. And do you know why that hurts? Because your inner being, which was born already whole, is being shoved into a dark corner, forgotten, suffocated by the anxiety of, "I need to do more." But here's a truth few dare to say. You don't need to do more. You just need to do it with presence. Do less, but with your whole heart. Speak less, but with words that bring peace. Respond less, but with the silence of someone who truly listened. Most people believe that meditation is a luxury for monks. But in truth, it's a right of every human being who wants to return to themselves. You can start now. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe. Feel the air coming in and out. Feel your heart beating. This moment, this silence, is the sanctuary where your peace lives. It's not an app. It's not a formula. It's the remembrance that you already are and have always been whole. Buddha once told the story of a poor man who lived miserably and complained about everything, not knowing that there was a treasure buried right beneath his home, a golden bowl, hidden for generations. One day, a wise man passed by and said, "You complain about life, but you've never dug beneath your own feet." The man, moved by curiosity, dug and found the bowl. That story is about you. You search outside, on social media, in ready-made answers, in distractions. But your golden bowl, your peace, your clarity, your purpose is buried within you, in the silence you avoid. You dig through the whole world and forget to dig inside. And this isn't just a metaphor. It's a loving cry from wisdom itself. Come back, return to yourself, and you will discover that you never needed to run.
Now listen to this fourth alert. You are numbing yourself with noise. Noise isn't just sound. Noise is any excess that suffocates your essence. Too much information, too many expectations, too many opinions, too much comparison. Each of these things covers your clarity like layers of dust on a mirror. Have you noticed how hard it is to hear your own soul when the whole world is screaming from your pocket? But Buddha said, just as still water reflects the sky, a quiet mind reflects the truth. You don't need to isolate yourself on a mountain. Just turn off the noise, even if for only 10 minutes. Stop numbing yourself with distractions. Start listening to your intuition again, because deep down, you already know what you need to do. You're just afraid to hear it. And I need to be direct now, with love, but without sugarcoating it. Stop distracting yourself from what really matters. You say you want peace, but feed anxiety. You say you want meaning, but live on autopilot. You say you want to change, but avoid the silence where change begins. Stop hiding behind the excuse of, I don't have time. Because time isn't found, time is made. And if you don't make time for yourself, the world will make sure to fill every minute with things that steal your essence. Buddha would say, looking into your eyes with compassion, do not waste this rare and precious existence. You've spent lifetimes distracted. Now, awaken. At the end of the day, it's not about disconnecting from the world. It's about coming back to life within it, with presence. And when you do that, colors become vibrant again, conversations regain soul, and even silence becomes music. Life isn't out there. It begins when you quiet the inside. And listen to this fifth alert. The most dangerous distraction is the one that looks like progress. The most dangerous distraction is the one disguised as purpose. You wake up early, turn on the computer, spend the entire day watching videos about how to be more productive, read another book, take another course, save another motivational video. And when the sun sets, your heart is tired, your mind is confused, and your life still stuck? This is the trap Buddha would point to firmly, like a father watching his child fall into the same hole for the 1,000th time. The most dangerous distraction is the one that looks like virtue. How many times have you focused so much on learning, preparing, planning that you forgot to live? You think you're evolving, but in truth, you're going in circles, feeding the illusion of almost, soon, when I'm ready.
But the now, here. And it won't wait for you to finish another course to begin living with presence. Imagine a man in the desert. He carries a map, a compass, a bottle of water, and all the tools to find an oasis. But he spends all his time polishing the compass, admiring the map, memorizing the route names, and never takes a single step. Can you feel the irony? This is the most subtle kind of distraction, the endless pursuit of self-improvement that turns into self-deception. Buddha would say, you already are what you're looking for. What you're missing is not more information. What you're missing is conscious action. You need to stop confusing movement with direction. One step with presence is worth more than 1,000 plans without soul. Many people live like this, always busy, always chasing, but never truly living, because they're distracted by constant self-perfection. And that might seem noble, but at its core, it's fear. Fear of failing, fear of starting and not being good enough, fear of being seen. So they hide behind, "I'm getting ready." But you know what Buddha would tell you now. You don't need to be ready to begin being present. You only need to stop, breathe, observe, and take the first step now. No more being fooled by false progress that only postpones your life. No more numbing yourself with endless courses, books, and empty promises of success, while your soul cries for simplicity, silence, and truth. Buddha, with eyes of infinite compassion, might say, "Stop chasing who you think you should be. Embrace who you are now, with courage." And in that silence, you might finally hear what has always been inside, your truth, your path, your freedom. If you made it this far, it wasn't by accident. Maybe something inside you is tired of all the noise, tired of all the pressure, tired of doing so much on the outside and feeling so little on the inside. Maybe now is the time to ask yourself with honesty, what distractions have I been feeding in the name of progress? What am I postponing out of fear of not being perfect? Am I just busy or truly awake? Take a deep breath. You don't need another promise. You need presence. You need silence. You need a path that doesn't rush, but reconnects. Buddha wouldn't give you a schedule. He'd give you a mirror, so you could look at yourself with compassion, with firmness, with truth. And now I invite you, take this teaching into your life. Don't let it stay in this video. Uninstall a distraction today. Say no to what pulls you away from your soul, and take one step, even a small one, toward your inner freedom. If this touched you, leave a comment below. Which of these distractions has been stealing your life? Share your truth. It might help free someone else too. And if you want to keep receiving messages like this, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and walk this awakening journey with me. You are not alone, and the path, even if silent, is full of light. Namaste. The Buddha in me honors the Buddha in you.